Hey everybody, thanks for coming back to the channel. Today we are talking about Legos in the classroom, how to use them, what to do with them, and without further ado, let's dive into a bucket of Legos. Alright guys, Legos can be used for all sorts of activities. They're indestructible. So if you're thinking about picking up a set or two, I think you should totally do it because it's a great investment in the classroom because they never break. So pick up some Lego sets. I would really recommend picking up these sets that are just sort of generic block sets. I'll link some down below. You can find them on Amazon, Target. It is costly. Legos are expensive, but again, just buying these basic sets, you'll have them forever. I put them in sort of Ziploc sealed bags, and I try to buy even sets for each of my teams. You don't have to go that far. I'm a little nuts about that, wanting each of my teams to have the same resources. But you don't have to do that. But what you can do with these, they make kind of really fun, different sort of assessments, formative or summative, really. On one of my tests, I use them. They have to do this sort of build challenge where they have to design something that represents a key concept that we've studied. And they have on the test this sort of build zone, this rectangular box that they have to build the thing with inside, and then they have to sort of type out what they built. And kids really like that kind of design challenge within the formal assessment. But there are all sorts of daily assessments you could use this on. And you can use it in multiple different classes. Could be an English class, science class, it doesn't matter, history class for me. How I use these Legos a lot of times is have these build challenges. And I have each group getting this sort of resource bucket with some bags of Legos, some of these base plates that I picked up, and I'll link those below as well. And then I give them their specific design challenge. And I have done different design challenges throughout the years. My most used one is that they have 30 minutes to build 3 scenes from last night's reading, something that they think is really important, some key concept that they want to show and demonstrate their knowledge on. They're not allowed to use any other resources. They build it, and then they have to write out sort of a description of what they did, hopefully using vocab terms and really displaying their knowledge on that key concept. And they have to design 3 of them as a team. So as a team, they kind of work through the process of how to do that efficiently. And when I first designed this project, they all failed. And that was part of it. They had to learn and kind of break down why did they fail. Kind of at first, they all just played with Legos and didn't get the job done. But then we could sort of debrief that as teachers. And I found that to be a really powerful discussion with my students. From there, I did the same thing again, and they had to build 3 scenes as a team. But this time, they sort of figured out that they had to break up the task a little bit. So they used a little bit of their time in the beginning to sort of pick their 3 scenes from last night. And then they go about designing those 3 scenes while somebody else might be writing up what each of the scenes might be. Somebody else might kind of look that over. And then ultimately, they get it done where they take photos of each of the 3 scenes. They do their write-up, and then we're a one-to-one school, so then I make them put all of that into an iMovie and do a voiceover for each of the scenes with what was written. And then they have to export that file and get it to me all within 30 minutes, and by the second time doing it, we actually have some teams that are able to do that within the time frame. The other teams maybe have finished it, but they haven't done the technical aspects of putting it all into an iMovie. And by the 3rd time doing this, really all my 4 teams, my 4 guilds are successful in doing this kind of build challenge. I really think it's a fun structure and one that you could do. Now sometimes I don't want to involve all the technical aspects of the iMovie and these other things. So another one I do that's a little lighter, a little easier, is I just do it like a vocab design challenge where it's kind of a misnomer, they don't only have to use vocab, but they're trying to develop as many as they can as a guild. The these sort of key concepts or vocab terms from what we've read so far in the chapter. And this one is like a quick build, so they make little mini builds, and the students, you can see, like just love building something from like olive trees to Poseidon's trident, just something quick because they need to build 15, 20 vocab terms or again, key concepts from the unit. And this is kind of cool because they don't want any repeats, so their team has to collaborate and communicate together what they're designing, what they're building, so that in the end they have 20, 30, however many they can get to concepts. And I make them take photos of that, and then they stand up and sort of at the end airplay those photos and get to sort of walk through what they built as a team. It's kind of great because it also refreshes everybody's mind on these key concepts. And a lot of the teams build the same things. So when I have all 4 groups go up and sort of present what they've built, that's just a review 4 times about those vocab terms, looking at those and hitting what's important about the unit. So those are 2 ways that I use Legos in my class and ways that students love. Other ways you could obviously do stop animation as a project with kids. There's just endless possibilities of using Legos in your class, big and small ways. So I'd really suggest you guys think about adding some Lego sets. I put a link down below to different Lego sets that I've used. So the base plates you can get, not required, but kind of nice to have. I've talked about kind of how I organize those Legos. Again, you don't have to be as nuts about that as I am, but it is helpful to do that. For a lot of these Lego build challenges too, they're done in class. I also offer a badge that students can earn from these Lego build challenges. And I try to theme them around what we're studying. So Phidias is the badge they can earn now. Phidias was the architect of the Parthenon. So to do that in the Greek unit is just really fun. Pair that together with your unit. And what I tell the students I'm looking for the Phidias badge is a lot of soft skills. I'm looking for them to be effective communicators and collaborators. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm not trying to judge what's the best designed project, but just in general, that these students worked well together. And I love giving out those badges throughout the day to the students that are really effective communicators and collaborators. And I kind of compliment them in front of others so that people get what good collaboration looks like. And then I see kind of a rise in other students doing those same habits because they've seen an example right in front, and not an example that I just lay out, but an example from one of their peers. So that works really well. As always, if you could just sort of smash that subscribe button, maybe in true sense of the Lego sense, if you could kind of click on it and build up this sort of PLN. If you use Legos in your class or with your kids at home, comment below how you use it. I would love to hear different ways, Legos in the classroom, your passion for Legos. And until next time, I'm MrMatera. Happy to have you on this channel. Thank you so much. This community has been growing and growing and growing, and I love it. I'm going to continue to put these things out. And until next time, bring the fun.